The invisible value of a wheelchair. For those who don't need one, it's easy to see it as a piece of equipment or a convenience. But for individuals with disabilities, wheelchairs are a lifeline to their independence. Yet a loophole in New Jersey's health insurance laws have been blocking people in need of motorized wheelchairs from getting them, specifically if they live in a nursing home. As Raven Santana reports, a bill moving through Trenton would finally close that gap and the lack of accessibility it's caused.
Chairman Burgess, I vote yes. Chairman Vitale?
Yes.
The bill is released as amended.
The Senate Health, Human Services, and Senior Citizens Committee unanimously voted in favor of advancing legislation that would require Medicaid coverage of motorized wheelchairs for nursing facility residents. One of the bill's sponsors, Senator Renee Burgess, says passing this bill is a game changer for those who rely on their wheelchair for independence.
Took care of my mom, been in long-term nursing facilities, so I know how it is to feel independent when you have someone that's been independent all their life.
Currently in New Jersey, Medicaid typically covers the cost for a motorized wheelchair for patients who are prescribed one, but there's just one problem. For residents of nursing facilities, that decision is made at the discretion of the facility. It's a loophole this bill aims to fix.
So Senate Bill 3438, what it does is it requires these managed care organizations to provide a power wheelchair to a nursing home resident simply if it is prescribed by their doctor. Why would you need something else? If you have a prescription for it, why should there be some private company standing in the way between you, your health, and what your doctor has prescribed you?
Jonathan Sigworth is the president and CEO of More Than Walking, a nonprofit serving people with disabilities and spinal cord injuries. Sigworth started the nonprofit after becoming paralyzed below his arms after he fell off a 70-foot cliff in northern India 19 years ago. Unfortunately, he says for so many of those who rely on wheelchairs for independence and freedom, that also means a hefty price tag.
You know, the cost of a power wheelchair is maybe $30,000 to $40,000 or more. The cost of a lightweight manual chair can be $5,000 to $6,000 or more $1,000. I mean, these are lightweight titanium chairs, lightweight aluminum chairs, and the maintenance required to maintain them. It also costs money, so we cannot afford these out of pocket. We cannot afford to maintain these out of pocket, so we rely on our insurance to deliver our chairs and the repairs to those chairs when we need them.
I want to go a little further than just a courtyard or the hallways. I want to get out into the community, and a power chair would let me do that. And I've been waiting 3.5 years to do that. I've only been in the outside world once, on a field trip to a Chinese restaurant that was sponsored by Aristocare here. So 3.5 years of, not going to a supermarket, a park, any place outside. I'm very anxious to get my life going.
Larry Lindstrom has had his motorized wheelchair for 6 months. He became paralyzed from the chest down after he was involved in a car accident in May of 2021. Lindstrom says before he got approval for the power chair, he was sometimes stranded in his room because he had to rely on nursing facility staff to push him around. While he is happy to have finally received his motorized wheelchair, he doesn't want anyone to go through what he did, which is why he says this legislation needs to pass.
And if this legislation doesn't pass, it interrupts that whole chain. And I don't want to see people spending another 3 years virtually in bed like I did.
The bill was advanced in an 8-0 vote and now moves to the Budget and Appropriations Committee. For NJ Spotlight News, I'm Raven Santana.